Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Let's get into this drama with Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her soon-to-be ex-husband, Ryan Anderson, because I actually caught Ryan Anderson on a live stream. I think it was yesterday, and I had no idea what was going on because I haven't kept up with him in a minute. Like every so often, I hear something that's going on. I look into it. I may cover it. If I'm asked to look into what's going on, I will look into it. I will cover it. But I don't really keep up with her the way that I was kind of keeping up with her when her Life After Lockup show was on, right? But Ryan went live on his Instagram account. I was watching, or on his TikTok account. I was watching, and he started talking about these text messages that was leaked. I was really interested in trying to figure out what happened. So after the live, I went digging for answers. Here's the gist of it. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she recently announced that she was going to be more private on social media, that she was not going to post much. I went to her TikTok account, and all the videos are gone except videos that relate to her book or her reality TV show, Life After Lockup. However, if you dig into Gypsy, you know that Gypsy has a friend named Bree that kind of is her spokesperson that will do things on behalf of Gypsy. And from what I figured out is that Gypsy's friend Bree released some text messages that Ryan had recently sent Gypsy, still proclaiming his love for her, saying like that he misses her, that she still has his heart, la di da di da. So I was like, why would Bree do that? Why would Bree need to leak these messages? Like, what is the purpose of it? When I was watching Ryan on his IG live, he said, listen, I'm a little embarrassed. These got leaked. This was something that I thought that Gypsy would see, but I've never hid the fact that I feel very strongly for Gypsy. She was my wife. We are not divorced yet, but we're headed there very soon. We will be divorced. But he said he still struggles with, how he feels about her. Clearly. But I was really curious, why is Bree leaking these? What purpose does it serve? Gypsy has gone private. She has a book coming out. She has the second season of Life After Lockup coming out. She is due in January with a baby, the love of her life, her soulmate's baby. They just had their baby shower. Why is Gypsy's best friend, Bree, from everything that I can find, Bree is Gypsy's, like some people call Bree Gypsy's bulldog. Other people just say this is her spokesperson. I saw some videos that said if Bree puts it out, it's at Gypsy's instruction. Gypsy went silent, and she is keeping her nose clean because parole, PR, so she don't get drama. But anything that her friend Bree does, rest assured that Gypsy knows and has approved it. So I was really confused, like, why does this girl care? So I actually found a video of Bree explaining why she released these videos. And according to Bree, and I have some clips that we're going to watch, she says that Gypsy still gets hate because people accuse Gypsy of like continuing to lead Ryan on, not leaving him alone. So Bree wanted to put these text messages out to prove that Ryan is the one that won't let Gypsy go, that it's not Gypsy. So we're going to listen to Bree's her explanation. We're going to listen to some clips of her video, and then I got some things to say because I'm very confused. Ashley says Bree's the messenger. From all the videos that I have watched, that's what I am gathering, that Bree is the messenger. There's a lot of I'm speculating some things here. There was rumors that things were not good between Ken and Gypsy. Now, I reached out to Gypsy's stepmom, Christy, and I asked her when that rumor came out that Ken and Gypsy broke up. I reached out to Christy and I said, hey, are they broken up? She said, no, they're not. I also want to be clear here. In the last video that I did about Gypsy and Ken, and I mentioned that I reached out to Christy, I had a few comments of people saying, oh, if you know Christy's number, then you're on their side. I don't trust anything. I literally had somebody say, If you have Christy's number, you are on their side, you're in their camp. I don't trust you. Doing what I do, I actually have a lot of people's numbers. People that I don't support, that I don't like. I got Janelle Easton's number, okay? I'm from Louisiana. They're from Louisiana. I had somebody that knows them really well give me Christy's number. It's not that big of a deal to have somebody's number. I've spoken to Christy on the phone one time. I talked to her for a few hours. She told me some things. I cover people. Sometimes I end up with numbers. I'm not one of those creators that if I end up with A-list, D-list, whatever, never A-list, but C-list celebrities number because I cover them, I'm not going to be talking to them all the time. I will reach out to them when things happen to see if I can get information. I'm very open about that. Like, hey, I have a YouTube channel. Can you give me a statement about something? So I just want to put that out there that just because I had Christy's number does not mean I'm in their camp. Okay. I'm not going to be in anyone's camp at all. I'm going to say what I know, give my opinions, and I'm not going to be, nobody's going to steer me in any type of direction. Okay. So when I did that video, like I said, I reached out to Christy. She said no, that they're together. But this Bree leaking these messages was just weird to me. I'm like, what is the purpose? Gypsy got her life. She's got her life. She's pregnant. She had her baby shower. Why would Gypsy have Bree do this? Or if Bree came up with the idea, why? So, like I said, we're going to watch the videos and then we're going to talk about some things because I got some opinions on this. All right, so the first video that we're going to watch is just Bree kind of explaining why she's putting these videos out or these text messages out. It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm going to talk about it.
And I just want to make it very clear that it's not to hurt Ryan in any way. I have a lot of empathy for him, so just know that that's not my intentions. I'm sharing them because there's a narrative that has been pushed around that Ryan has helped push that is not true at all. People have been on Gypsy's ass about leaving Ryan alone, as if she's the one trying to get in touch with him, messaging him, texting him, calling him, when that is simply not true, and Ryan has helped push that narrative. He really has. Like, say...
So, okay, she's telling us that she leaked these messages to show there's a narrative out there that Gypsy will not leave Ryan alone, that she won't shut it down, and that Ryan allows that narrative to be pushed. He doesn't shut it down. If anybody watches Ryan long enough, they'll realize that Ryan doesn't say, he'll say things here and there, but he doesn't go too far in depth. He doesn't go too far in depth with he doesn't answer many questions. And if he does, it's like a slip. And then he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. He doesn't really talk too much about too much. If he does say something, it's a very quick, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Or he'll laugh and be like, I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm going to tell you now, I definitely think Gypsy leads Ryan on in a sense. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I think Gypsy has absolutely done and said things that will leave somebody like Ryan, who is as obsessed, infatuated, in love with Gypsy as he is. Some of the things that she's done is absolutely, to him, going to say, oh, I have hope. And we'll talk about that. Let's continue to listen to what she's going to say.
Saying things like, oh yeah, she wants to see me, but no one will let her. Ryan, you know that that's not true. Ryan was in New Orleans, and Gypsy wanted to see him in person to have a conversation for closure. Closure, that's it. Well, everyone knows that Ryan does not like Christy at all. But Rod was not home. It was only Christy there, and that wasn't going to happen. Not without.
And when I say he doesn't go too far in depth to it. I've never heard Ryan go in depth with anything. He'll make very surface statements. She's not happy. She texts me. He never goes in depth with anything to really talk about it. And here's the thing. Do we know that she hasn't texted him? Bree just said right here that Ryan made a comment on his live that there was some truth to it. Enough truth to give him a little bit of hope. She said, Ryan's on his live telling people that Gypsy wants to meet up with him but isn't allowed to, that they won't allow him to meet up with her. They're like Christy and Rod or whoever is not allowing Gypsy to meet up with him. And she literally said that there was some truth to it. Enough truth to give him a little hope. She said that Ryan was in New Orleans and that Gypsy wanted to see him for closure. But to Ryan, If Gypsy says, yes, I would like to see you, that's giving him hope. He's like, oh, she wants to see me. That's great. She wants to see me. You know what I'm saying? So for then to be like, well, Rod's not here. Chrissy doesn't want you to come. He's going to take that as, well, they're not really allowing me to see her. That's how he's going to take it. If that's what Gypsy told him, listen, I want to see you. I want closure, but my dad's not here. And Chrissy doesn't want you here without my dad here. Sorry. That's the way his mind's going to flip it to, well, you know what? They're not letting me see her. It's not like I'm going to go over there and beat anybody up. I could go over there. Christy could drop Gypsy off at a gas station, at a cafe, or somewhere at a restaurant for me to talk to Gypsy. Gypsy said the girl here said it, that Ryan was in New Orleans. Gypsy said she wanted to see him for closure. You know? Exactly, Janie. That's something else. That is something else. If Gypsy is really tired of Ryan reaching out, why not just block him? She doesn't block him because she's leaving it open to him. It doesn't take a lot to block him. If she's really so done with Ryan, completely moved on with her life, wants to be with Ken, and she also doesn't want to keep Ryan on the back burner a little bit, she would block him. I can tell you my opinion. My opinion is Gypsy wants to keep Ryan on the back burner. And I do think she gives him a little bit here and there to keep him there. I think Ryan is absolutely, for some reason, completely in love with this girl. He married her. You know, he waited for her to get out of prison. And like he said in a video that I watched earlier today when I was going through all of this stuff, he said, imagine that you get married to the love of your life, and one day she tells you, I love you, but I just need a break. She leaves and you never see her again. You never see her again. She's with somebody else. She's getting matching tattoos. She's pregnant, and you never see her again. But the last time you seen her, she told you, I love you. I promise I love you. I just need some time. I need some space. I couldn't even imagine that. As much as I love my husband, which, you know, I mean, we've been together for 16 years, but even when we first got together, me and my husband got together, we got married pretty quickly, within a few, like 8 months. And then he deployed, and that was tough. You know, I mean, so here's the thing. Brandy said, she said at one point she did block him, but he contacted her off of a different number. Well, he's not blocked through TikTok, because the messages that this Bree girl is showing, it shows that he messaged her on TikTok. And there was also a screenshot that Gypsy took from her TikTok where it shows, like, so many minutes ago, Ryan messaged her. And it's like fourth down on the screen or whatever. So I think if I was going to block someone, I don't know. I'm just thinking, okay, I will block them on social media. I will block their phone number. If they kept contacting me from a different number, I'm not going to unblock them on social media. You know, there's actually a feature on iPhones that you can block all incoming numbers that you don't know. It'll silence them. It'll go straight to a voicemail. So that way, if it's someone important, you'll get the voicemail. But if it's someone like Brian, you won't answer because it didn't ring. But if it's like somebody that you really want to talk to, they're going to leave a message. You're going to say, oh, that's who that is. Let me store the number. So next time it will come through and it won't send them straight to voicemail. So there's ways that you can get around, like, to make sure he's blocked and to keep him from, you know, if he does call, to where you don't even see it. Let's continue listening. I'm actually going to back it up all the way to the beginning.
Sharing these messages, and I just want to make it very clear that it's not to hurt Ryan in any way. I have a lot of empathy for him, so just know that that's not my intentions. I'm sharing them because there's a narrative that has been pushed around that Ryan has helped push that is not true at all. People have been on Gypsy's ass about leaving Ryan alone, as if she's the one trying to get in touch with him, messaging him, texting him, calling him, when that is simply not true, and Ryan has helped push that narrative. He really has. Like, saying things like, oh yeah, she wants to see me, but no one will let her. Ryan, you know that that's not true. Ryan was in New Orleans, and Gypsy wanted to see him in person to have a
Gypsy wanted to see me for closure, and they wouldn't let her. You know that's not true. Ryan was in New Orleans. Gypsy wanted to see him for closure. The only difference in what they're saying is why it didn't happen, but I could see Ryan's understanding of it.
Conversation for closure. Closure, that's it. Well, everyone knows that Ryan does not like Christy at all. But Rod was not home. It was only Christy there. And that wasn't going to happen. Not without Rod home. So that's the reason they weren't able to meet up in person. They aren't keeping Gypsy from Ryan. Gypsy does not want to be with Ryan.
And another thing, too, if Gypsy is telling him, yes, I would like to see you for closure, which that is what her friend said. Her mouthpiece, her bulldog, her spokesperson. I don't know Bree well enough I don't know her at all. So I hate to like put anything negative on her to be like her bulldog, whatever. I don't know. I just know if her own friend that has been labeled her spokesperson is saying Gypsy did want to see him, for closure, but Rod was not home and Christy wasn't going to let that happen. Well, why couldn't Gypsy say, you know what, take me to this restaurant, I'll meet him there, and then when I'm done, you can come get me. It seems like Christy shut that down. It seems like it was shut down because Bree's admitting that Gypsy wanted to meet up with him for closure. But she couldn't even say, well, let's go here and do that. I'll just go somewhere. I'll get an Uber. I don't know if they have Ubers down there, but it could have happened. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like somebody went above Gypsy and said, we're not doing that. No. Closure, she's already that's a good point, Kay. Like, to even meet up with him, you can say it was for closure, whatever. I mean, she is pregnant by somebody else. The divorce is about to be done. So, but he is still sending her messages ever so often saying, you know, I love you. You know, you have my heart. He's still there. He still hasn't gotten over her, right? So, did Gypsy really want to meet up with him for closure, or did she want to meet up with him to hang out, keep him on that back burner? I don't know. You got to ask yourself that. Did Ken know that this meeting was going to take place? I wonder what Ken thought about it. Now, here's a second part to that clip.
The way this all went down could have been handled better. It could have. She knows that. Everyone knows that. But we also know that it's impossible to go back in time and change anything. So all she can do is move forward, which is what she wants Ryan to do as well. Because of this narrative, everything Gypsy does, people twist. Like the video she did, everyone thinks that that was meant for Ryan when it wasn't. It was just simply her doing a video.
I think when you are celebrity status, anything that you do, if you have an ex, people look at those things that way. Gypsy did a TikTok video, and I looked for it, but it's deleted off her page, so I couldn't find it. But I do remember it a little bit, where she said something very seductively like, which even though I've been a bad girl, will you still take me back? Something along those lines, right? Rumors were swirling that her and Ken broke up. Then it was like, nope, her and Ken are not broken up. So was that for Ryan? Here's the thing. Ryan may think so. Ryan may look at that and be like, is that for me? Like, is she doing that to me? Like, why would she do that? A lot of people looked at that and thought, her and Ken are broken up. That's for Ken. Or her and Ken are broken up and that's for Ryan. Because, well, if Ken left her, a lot of people think that if Ken was to leave her and Gypsy knew that there was no hope with her and Ken, she would run back to Ryan. So doing a video like that, asking if somebody would take you back, I get it. It's just a TikTok video. It shouldn't be taken seriously, but people are going to look into it. They're going to question. They're going to wonder. So that was one thing that she did. She did that video, had people wondering, probably had Ryan thinking, oh, is she talking to me? And then when the videos came out of Ryan with the girl backing it up on him and he slapped her on the butt, and then the one with the 10-foot pole and the girl, Gypsy literally went live and was like, that's my husband. That's my husband. We're still married. And she's like, what I'm saying is 2 wrongs don't make a right. Girl, you are pregnant by someone. Ryan slapping a girl's butt is not even on the level of where you're at. Like, your wrong is way up here, and his is like way down here. The fact that he slapped a girl on the butt, and it was very clearly joking. It looked like they were just friends. And it looked like he actually slapped the girl on the back of her butt. It looked like he slapped her on the back of her butt, or on her butt with the back of his hand. It didn't even look like he actually really did this. It looked like he did that. But the fact What did that say to Ryan? When he actually posted a video of him and a girl seemingly flirting and him slapping her on the butt, and then Gypsy goes live saying, "That's my husband. That's my husband." These are the ways that you are keeping Ryan on the back burner. These are the ways that he is like, well, maybe she's not over me. And if there are messages, and I don't know that there are, but Ryan did say, he said, I have messages too, because Gypsy has messaged me as well. She has messaged me telling me that she loves me. I have those. I could release those, but I'm not going to do that, because what would be the point in doing that? So if from the time that she's left, if she has messaged him throughout time to say little things like that, a man like Ryan that feels the way that he does, he is going to be waiting. And yes, Gypsy would be a part of the reason for that. Like, if you really want to make sure he knows, then you got to shut it down all the way. You can't be making little TikToks like this. I'm sorry, but you can't. If he's on TikTok flirting with a chick, you got to ignore it. You just can't. No, Ryan's not dating that. No, Ryan's not dating that blonde. That blonde has a boyfriend. She just works at a restaurant that Ryan was at. But why even mention it? Brandy said, I took her doing that as her mocking him because how he always mentions they are still married and calls her his wife. But he's not doing that in the sense of oh, her baby shower was this weekend, but we're still married, but we'll still married, but we'll still married. That's my wife. He says it like this. Like when somebody says, oh my gosh, stop talking about Gypsy. You're just using her for clout. He'll say, but we're still married. That's my wife. She is still my wife. So he says it in that regard. It's never like, oh, look what she's doing with another man. That's my wife. It's always to defend the fact, and this is just how I've heard him say it. I've never heard him say, you guys, we're still married, or that's my wife, in any way other than to defend himself for talking about her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very earlier on, he would say things like that, but I haven't heard him say anything. Anything. He just defends himself for saying well, this is my life too. She's, we're still married. You guys, we are still married. But for her to get on a live, the next day after the video of the blonde and the video of him smacking the girl on the butt and literally be like, that's my husband, we're still married. What is that going to say to him? She should have ignored it. She should, honestly, in my opinion, if she don't want to give Ryan any type of hope, that's why people feel like she's stringing him along. I can tell you that video right there is absolutely, because I was like, girl, really? Let's continue listening to the rest of these videos.
Or the live that she did, people have taken clips from her live and manipulated what the purpose was of her saying what she said. It was not jealousy. It was not her really getting mad because Ryan was out there dancing with other girls. Y'all missed the whole point. And I'm not even going to take the time to get the point across that Gypsy was trying to make, because I don't think y'all will.
Because I don't think the point makes sense. In my opinion, the point doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Listen, but hopefully y'all will see these messages and listen to at least this. Gypsy's not the one trying to make Ryan's healing delayed at all. But with all that being said, the reason I post those messages is because it's not Gypsy who is making it hard for Ryan to move on. It is Ryan who is making it hard for himself to move on.
I think a lot of the public see Gypsy do things and say things that feel like, well, no, you doing this is going to make it hard for him to move on. And two, imagine this. He's being sent things probably. Her baby shower photos is on People magazine, all over the internet. This man got to move on from his wife that literally got pregnant a month after leaving him. That the week, 2 weeks after she left, or not even 2 weeks after she left, the week after she left, she got another man at her house. I mean, I don't know, call me crazy, but I feel like that would be a hard thing to deal with. And he just filmed for the Lifetime show. He literally just filmed for next season. He said it on one of his TikTok lives that he filmed. So they also have him film, probably just a catch up with Brian to see how he's doing and everything. But he's also filmed for that. So this man has to deal with all of that. I mean, I couldn't imagine that. I'm not saying he's right in everything that he's done, you know, but man, just leaving him with no proper conversation is horrible. Then she is pregnant and gone. That's very cruel for anyone. I agree.
In 2 months, she's about to have a baby with another man who she loves and has made it very clear that she loves. Her and Ken are not broken up. They don't plan on breaking up. And Gypsy has never done anything that should give Ryan the idea that she and him will ever be back together. She has never given him false hope from day one, actually. She was very upfront with him. That's something that's hard for a lot of people to do. She followed her heart. She knew that she had to do it sooner than later, because the longer they would be together, the more it would hurt Ryan. She tried to end that immediately. The only way Ryan's going to be able to move forward is not doing these type of things, is not sending messages to Gypsy like this. Because as Gypsy still continues to be attacked, he doesn't. No one knows that Ryan...
I don't know. I see him get some pretty mean comments, like when he goes live. When I was in the live, I seen some, like, people like, oh my gosh, like, oh my God, get over it. Stop using her for clout. So he does get attacked as well. But why is it his duty? Why is it Ryan's duty? The man that was there for her when she got out of jail. Ken wasn't. Remember, Ken left her when she was in prison. But Ryan was there when she got out of jail. He drove. He took off work. He did everything. He bought her expensive gifts that she wanted. Brought her home. Took off work to be there the first few weeks that she was out. Films this show, and he's there for her. And I really think he loves her. And then she just up and leaves him for somebody that they both publicly bash, like they both talk crap about. And he's just supposed to move on. He's just move on. It's not that easy for everybody. While it was easy for her, it's not that easy for him, clearly.
Is not doing these type of things, is not sending messages to Gypsy like this. Because as Gypsy still continues to be attacked, he doesn't.
So why is it his duty, though? Someone that was done that way. Listen, I'm just going to be honest. If you did care for Ryan at all, because we know who talks to TMZ. The media is not in down south Louisiana near Port Fourchon at the Dollar General taking photos of Gypsy Rose and Ken, okay? Literally, the news broke that they were separated. And like the next day, TMZ blasted photos of Ken and Gypsy hand in hand outside the Dollar General. Like the next day. Now, they had been split up for like a week or two. I don't know. But listen, we all know who took them pictures, who leaked them pictures. At minimum, it could have been, I'm not going to leak pictures. If you want to leak pictures to make money, whatever. But at minimum, you could have the decency to wait. Just for him. So if you do me dirty like that, if you leave me, tell me you love me, but you need space, and then like a week or two later, I'm seeing you hand in hand with your ex, I'm not defending you. I'm sorry. I'm not. That's on you, boo-boo. Sorry. Because guess what? He got called for that. Ryan still gets called like an idiot, a simp, like because he loves this girl. And he has a hard time getting, letting go of that. Literally, if you check the comments on videos about him, he gets called a simp, and he even addressed that in his video. He was like, I know people think I'm desperate. I know people think like that, I'm desperate for Gypsy or whatever, but like I loved her. He's like, I've dated other girls. It's not that. People think that because I'm heavier, that Gypsy must be the only girl I've ever dated. It's not that. I've dated girls before, but I've never married anybody before. So yes, I love her, and I have a hard time. And he's never hid that. He's never hid the fact that he struggles to get over her. But my God, like, look what the man went through. Like, she literally. She left. Pictures come out. And then TMZ is running article after article of, he was controlling. He reminded her of her mother. He was a hoarder. Pictures of his refrigerator. Who did that? Who sold TMZ pictures of Ryan Anderson's refrigerator? So I'm sorry, you sell an outlet pictures of my refrigerator after you just broke my heart and got matching tattoos with your ex? I'm not going to defend you either. Let the pieces fall where they may. So I can't say that they're mad. Gypsy and Bree, they're mad because Ryan is allowing a narrative to be painted. But the public, they're going to think what they think based off what they see. And Gypsy doing the video saying, that's my husband, slapping somebody else's butt. We're still married. We're still married. That's going to make people think, like, what are you talking about? You're literally trying to keep him like on the back burner to say something like that, to refer to him as your husband when you're pregnant by somebody else. Like, why would you say that? Let's continue to listen to this.
No one knows that Ryan, in fact, is the one who constantly tries to reach out to Gypsy. It's not the other way around. And Gypsy has made sure to make that boundary and not let it be crossed because she doesn't want Ryan to hurt. She wants Ryan to find love. She wants Ryan to move on and find someone who really loves him. She knows Ryan is a great guy. And that's all she wants is for him to find happiness, but he will not.
Okay, right here, she said she wants Ryan to find happiness. She knows Ryan's a great guy. But do you guys remember what TMZ was saying that Gypsy said after she left him? That he was abusive, that he was controlling. But even on Life After Lockup, when we saw her call him, she was like, you're a great guy. Like, oh, you got such a big heart. But literally, they tried to ruin him. I'm not saying Ryan's perfect, okay? I'm not. But when TMZ was running stories, and if you guys think that Christy and Gypsy wasn't the one selling those stories to TMZ, I can almost guarantee you 100% they were. Because literally it's at the dollar store where they live. Like, come on. It was them. And they literally said that he was abusive, that he was like her mom, that all these things. And now it's like, well, he's a great guy. He's got a big heart. So I don't think I would be speaking up too much either, which is crazy because Ryan actually does still care a lot about her. And I really feel like if Gypsy was to message Ryan and say, listen, Ryan, I'm getting a lot of heat. It's really affecting my pregnancy. Can you please just put out a statement and tell people that, like, I'm not leading you on. Like, we're trying to move on. I feel like he would do it. If she would reach out to him and say, can you please do this for me? Please. He would probably do it because he does care about her.
Not do that as long as he is sending messages like this to Gypsy.
Okay, so let's see. There was other things. Oh, hey, thank you. I love when silent viewers come in and comment. Thank you. So I do have, let's see, a piece of the clip from when she said that about that's my husband.
Looking at that video, that's my husband.
She was like, looking at that video, that's my husband.
That's my husband. He's slapping some girl's ass. That's my husband. We're still married. He's still married. I'm still married. What I'm saying is 2 wrongs don't make a right. I want you to be happy, Ryan. I really do. And I need this fighting, in a sense, to stop.
But how is that fighting? Like, what did he do that was really fighting by the video of him slapping some girl in the butt? Or my man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. How was that really fighting? That was him just like, she can make videos. She can make videos playing. She can make videos saying, oh, I've been bad. Will you take me back? And it's all jokes and it's all fun. But if he makes a video literally doing the my man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole for fun, then all of a sudden it's fighting. All of a sudden, respect my baby. Like, what? Like, that's not his baby. Like, your baby's not here. Like, your baby's not here. This is the only part that I have, which I have the whole thing. I think before it, she said something like, well, I could be like, that's my husband. Here's the thing. To say I could be like, that's my husband, you're acknowledging that. It's basically saying the same thing. If you're not trying to use that as the crutch, you don't say it. You don't. She was trying to, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Girl, you're pregnant. Like, he was slapping some girl in the butt and made a joke, like out of a audio of yours that kind of went viral that a lot of people used, like a lot of people use that. And I'm like, when she said that about like the fighting, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, what fighting is it? Like, I'm confused because she was responding to the video about the 10-foot pole with my man wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole that Ryan did with the blonde, and then him smacking some girl in the butt. Oh, and Gypsy commented on those videos. Let me see. She commented on those videos, and one of the comments that she said was this, which if you're completely over him, I don't know, just maybe ignore him. She said, he is only oh so brokenhearted when he is on live receiving gifts using my name for sympathy and clout. This is so double standard. I'm confused though. Like, he can't go out and have fun all of a sudden because now he's not sad. To get on a live, well, guess what? If Ryan Anderson gets on a live, guess what the people's going to ask about? Gypsy. They're going to ask about what's going on. Do you have any tea? What about Gypsy and Kent? What about this? That's just what the people are going to ask about. And he's honest with them saying, yes, I am sad. Yes. I do miss her. But he also talks about other things. I'm going to the movies. Me and my friends going to watch X, Y, and Z. Oh, but this is planned. Let's do a poll. What should we watch? So he does try to talk about a lot of other things. He really does. But he also answers questions. And he will also say, like, yes, this is happening. I am dealing with this. So if he's not on a live crying, or he can't go out and have fun, or else he's only brokenhearted on a live receiving gifts and using your name, he married you. Y'all were married. And y'all were on a TV show together. So that's also his story too to tell. Sarah, let me see if I can find it. Does anyone know how the hell both men tolerate her texting communication with both of them? Do they know she does it? I don't know. Do y'all know? Elle. Here's the thing. Ryan says that Gypsy has texted him as well. Gypsy's friend Bree says Gypsy does not text Ryan. So unless Ryan releases those messages, like, we really don't know. It's hard to really tell. Who knows? Because he has a right to. He has a right to go live just like Gypsy does. He ignores a lot of it. Trust me, I was in his live. Go in his live and see how much this stuff gets brought up. The fact that he does ignore a bunch of it, and he talks about wrestling. He talks about football. He talks about what he's doing. He talks about, what he does for work. He talks about all kinds of things. So because he's going to get questioned about Gypsy, he should not go live. He don't have the right to go live. Ryan has the right to go live. He has the right to answer any questions that he wants to, just like she does, just like Gypsy does. The thing about it is I've never seen Ryan really, he's let his emotions get the best of him a couple of times, and he has said some things. But for the most part, he does try, just like he said, like, I have messages. Should I release them? And people were like, yeah, release them. He did a poll and was like, should I release messages that I have from Gypsy? And of course, most everybody said yes. And he said, I'm not going to do that. Because what would that do? What good would that do? He was like, so I'm not going to do that. He's like, y'all messy. Y'all want drama. I'm not going to do that. So at least he tries not to. Here's the thing. But if he does go live for money, it's probably because he's lonely. Or if he does go live, he's lonely. And if he goes live to get money, he's a teacher. They don't make a lot of money, And I think he did spend a little bit of money on Gypsy. So if he gets some money off of going live and sharing things about his life, I feel like I've never seen Ryan just go hard for Gypsy, like attack her. We'll catch more of them because I uploaded his live from the other night, but I actually took out everything except him talking about the text situation. But his live yesterday, like most of it, it was 55 minutes maybe. And I think it was like 20 minutes that I cut down. That was him talking about the text messages, about, I know they got released. This is how I feel about them. And it was because it got brought up. People in the comment sections was asking him about the text messages. He responded. He talked about the shirt that he was wearing because somebody sent him a shirt. He talked about the lights that he has behind his TV. He talked about the movies. He talked about football. He talked about Thanksgiving. He talked about the weight loss surgery. So, I mean, as I've been on several of his live streams, and he gets asked a lot of questions about Gypsy. And sometimes he'll answer questions, but he'll be super quick with it. He'll say, "I don't know nothing about that, you guys. Move on to the next thing." And yeah, it is freedom of speech. The only thing that Gypsy can really do, because Ryan never goes hard for her. He really doesn't. Like, he doesn't go hard for her. So just ignore him. And girl, here's the thing. Gypsy's so bothered about this narrative that people believe that she contacts Ryan, that she is leading Ryan on, that she's the one that won't leave him alone. She's bothered by that. But let me tell you, when I see Gypsy stuff and the comments are rude comments, I never see comments like that. I never see comments like, "Girl, you need to leave Ryan alone. Why you leading him on?" I see comments talking about, "You a murderer." So I'm like, are you really that upset about? I guess you're getting hate for that. But I'm like, girl, this is what I see. Are you not concerned about? I would be more concerned about that, than worried about the narrative that I'm leading my ex-husband on. If you know you're not, if Ken knows you're not, who gives a shit what the world thinks? You know what I'm saying? Who cares what they think? If you're upset because Ryan won't squash the narrative, maybe you can get with Ken and say, "Hey, this is upsetting me. So I'm going to reach out to Ryan. I want you to sit here with me. I'm going to send him a message and ask him if he can maybe make a post, just telling people to get off my back," which Ryan does that. If you've watched the earlier videos of Ryan, then you probably saw Ryan literally tell people, "Do not attack Gypsy. I still love her, you guys." When people would go in his lives calling her the M word, he would say, "No, you guys, don't say that. Don't say that. I love her. Don't say that." He defends her. So I don't know. There's a part of me that I do feel like, well, here's the thing. I think I would care way more about people calling me a murderer than if somebody said I was leading my ex-husband on. You know what I'm saying? Especially considering I've done 2 videos about them in the past, 2 weeks. So I've had to go watch videos and find screenshots and stuff. And I haven't seen a one that says that. I mean, maybe I'm not looking in the right place, but I haven't found one comment on Gypsy stuff that says you need to stop leading Ryan on. Maybe it's happening somewhere else and I just don't know. That's possible. But I literally find ones that I feel like would upset her because they're calling her the N word. I don't know. Colby says, I really want to know what Nick thinks of all of this. I watched something with Nick not too long ago where he was saying that he still cared about her. I would have to look for it. That he was like, "Yes, I still love her." Well, if she can't change the narrative that people are going to think, that about her mom's unalive, then why does she feel like she can change the narrative about that? Or why let it bother her? Here's the thing. I don't think it does bother her. I'm confused why she put those out. I'm very confused why she put those out. But I really don't think something like that. Because I haven't even seen people say that. So I'm confused by it, to be quite honest. But if anybody hasn't seen the screenshot that we're talking about that was released, I'll show you guys really quickly. And I've been on for a while, so I'm not going to stay on too much longer. But this is the screenshot that Gypsy's friend, Bree, released. It says, and this was 18 hours before. He said, "You look so good as a brunette. Miss your voice. You know I do." And then 4.5 hours later, he said, You still have my heart. I still only have eyes for you. Gypsy Rose, you really are the most beautiful woman in the world. Just being honest. Now, I've seen some people comment and say, "This is weird. It looks like she deleted something." It kind of does. It's kind of weird that he would say, "You look so good as a brunette. Miss your voice. You know I do." And then her not respond. And then he says, You still have my heart. The way that he responded the second time, it does kind of look like maybe she said something and it got deleted. Uh, um, I don't know. Like, that's kind of weird, but I could be wrong. He may have just been thinking out loud. But I'd see a lot of people say that it's missing stuff. So I don't know. You guys can leave me your thoughts there if you think that she responded and it got deleted. Yeah, deleting messages is easy, but that 831, you still have my heart. It doesn't really make sense just saying it like that. Like he could have easily said, Gypsy, just want to let you know you still have my heart. It is weird. So I've seen a lot of people say something was deleted. And if that's the case, if she responded and deleted it, and then she's putting it out there to make it out like, oh, he's texting me, I'm not responding, well, then, that definitely makes the situation. If she's putting it out there, here's messages that he sent me, but I'm not responding to them, but yet she really is, well, then you really are leading him on by responding to his messages. And that's what he said. He actually said on the live, like, I have messages too. He said he has messages too that he could put out. So you got to ask yourself, who's really being the bigger person? Who's really being the bigger person? The person that hasn't deleted messages? The person that hasn't painted someone as an abuser because they did them wrong or they didn't want to be with them? The person that hasn't, released. I mean, she left very quickly, got with Ken, sold pictures of her and Ken to TMZ, allowed them to put it out, knowing that it was going to affect Ryan really bad, and then sold stories to TMZ saying that he was controlling, reminded her of her mother, that he was abusive, and sold pictures of his refrigerator. And so it's like, who's really the one like kind of screwing somebody over? With everything that she's done to him, like, yeah, he may have done a few things, and maybe he's responding in ways that people might not understand, or, oh, he shouldn't do that. He shouldn't get on live talking about her making money off her name. She made money off his name when she sold the picture of his refrigerator to TMZ. Says, and when he uses her name in the next part, that indicates he was talking to her directly, reiterating his feelings to her actively. Gypsy Rose, you are really the most beautiful woman in the world. Are you talking about that part? To say, if I was to be married to someone that I said was an abuser, I don't know if I would go on and refer to them as a person with a big heart and someone that is a great person. You know what I'm saying? Because she did that afterwards. She said he had a big heart and was a great person, and that she didn't want what she did to him to ruin him because she knows he's a great person with a big heart. That was said on the show. She was like, I don't want what I did to you to ruin your heart and to ruin what kind of person you are, because you are a great person, and I don't want to be the person that ruins that. So you got to really ask, like, was he abusive, or did he just do normal things that to you triggered you because things were different in your life growing up and you viewed them as abusive, and then you sold a story that he was abusive when really maybe he wasn't. So it's like, Gypsy, you should really be, in my opinion, I feel like she should consider herself lucky that Ryan doesn't try to sell her out the way she has sold him out. That Ryan does still care enough about her to say, I'm not going to release these messages. The you sounds like a response. I've seen a lot of people say that. Yeah. But yeah, so this whole situation with the leaked text messages, I'm like, if I was Gypsy, I don't know. I would just feel like he's done, while he may do things here and there that I don't like, how much have I done that he doesn't like? How much have I hurt him? So you know what? I'm not going to leak messages. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z when he makes me mad. I'm not going to go on a live, saying X, Y, and Z about him. I mean, she can, but if she really wants to stop the drama between them or whatever, I think she should really, in my opinion, just consider herself like, dang, I did a lot to this man, and he hasn't leaked a message. Yeah, he has said a few things popping off out of anger. He hasn't leaked any messages. He hasn't ran to tabloids to talk crap about me. He hasn't sold things. Do you believe she's actually pregnant or possibly has had the baby secretly? I've seen so much lately that proves she doesn't look pregnant. Now suddenly after the shower. Oh, she's definitely pregnant. I mean, she did a video where they were doing 4D sonograms. Like, you know. Well, here's what I know. Ryan was with her after they got after she got out of prison. Rumor has it that they went to the bar after she got out because she really wanted to, because she wanted to experience it. Even though she's not supposed to be there, right? Ryan was with her for some time. Ryan knew that she talked to convicted felons on the phone, something she's not allowed to do. And the way we know Ryan done this is because one of her friends outed her to where she was texting saying, I'll have to talk to them on Ryan's phone because I can't talk to them on my phone. So I guarantee you that Ryan knows things that could get her in trouble. Say she's never texted him. Okay. And he doesn't have that. And he's lying. To say, oh, I have messages of her saying, she missed me. Or I have messages where, we talked ever so often up until 2 months ago. Say that's not true. He has nothing, that once she left him, it's been, which obviously that's not the case. Because even Bree said that Ryan was in New Orleans and that Gypsy wanted to meet with him for closure. But it didn't get to happen because Christy, it seems, shut it down, right? Say there's nothing. He dated her when she was in prison, and she lived with him for some time after she got out. One of her friends outed her. What was that girl's name? When they busted up having problems, saying like, oh, Gypsy's friends, she still talks to her friends that are on parole. And they provided screenshots where Gypsy was talking, saying, I'm going to have to talk to them on Ryan's phone because I don't want to get in trouble. Zora. Thank you, Zora. So Ryan knew that. Did Ryan out her for that? Nope. Has Ryan even come out to say, hey, I know that she violated her parole very early on. No, he hasn't. He has not. So I'm sure he knows something. Well, her friend Bree, who was her spokesperson, even said that Gypsy wanted to meet with him for closure. Bree said that, I didn't. Because honestly, if it would have just came from Ryan, if Ryan would have been the one to say, oh, well, Gypsy wanted to meet with me, but Christy wouldn't let her, that's where my mind would have been. It would have been like, well, if Gypsy really wanted to, she would have. So she must not have wanted to. But because Gypsy's spokesperson said Ryan was in New Orleans and Gypsy did want to meet with him for closure. But because Ryan wasn't there, Christy said no way. So to me, that changes my opinion a little bit to feel like, well, I guess Gypsy did, but Christy was like, not happening. Oh, yeah, for sure. Did you see the man on Facebook that saw her at the mall and took a picture with her and said he didn't know she was pregnant and she didn't look pregnant, much less 8 months? I didn't see that, but I can tell you, like, there are some people that like barely look pregnant. Sometimes, some days, certain positions you can look bigger. I wholeheartedly think she's pregnant, 1,000%. But anyways, you guys, so I'm curious as like really why release these? Is it to show Ken like, hey, look, somebody still wants me? Were they having problems? I don't know. Something is weird about it to me. I really just can't go with this like narrative. And if that is it, if Gypsy really is so concerned about this narrative that people have that she won't leave him alone, and that's what it is. I just feel like she should take her cut her losses and appreciate the fact that she done so much to this man. And if all he's done is sat by and allow a narrative to be painted about her, one that's not even one of the worst narratives to be painted about her, then she should just be like, you know what, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. You know, that's just my opinion. Ryan has been a protective husband and hopes she will come back. That's what I get to. Like when I've been in his lives and people talk about Gypsy and he like shuts them down and he's like, don't say that about her. Don't say that about her. I'm like, that's wild that he still to this day like does not want anybody to talk negatively about Gypsy. She had to take accountability for that to happen though, and she doesn't know what accountability even looks like. Yes, like Gypsy, you did that man wrong. And you can say two wrongs don't make a right, and you're right, they don't. But this dude, give him a little bit of like room to make the mistakes that you clearly made. Like, if he does something, like, girl, you did so much to him. But how long is she supposed to not speak while he continues to speak on her? At some point, we're a human and we're going to bite back. He doesn't speak on her negatively, though. That's what I'm saying. Like the very rarity that he is upset about something, it's because something was said about him. He still like defends her. Like, what has he said? I mean, maybe I'm missing something. What did he say? When she sent Ryan photos of her and Ken, evil. Yeah, that was wild. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, what has he said? And there's been a lot to this. So maybe he has said some things that I'm like missing something. But it's like, dude, she literally just days after leaving him, she allowed stories to run with her and Ken together. She got matching tattoos and sent him pictures of them together. Like, what did he say? Does anybody know? Like, can anybody think of anything that Elle Bee, if you consider the fact that both Ryan and Nick said the same exact thing, I have to trust that she'll always come back to me. That's a seed she has planted and fosters in their mind. That is what he said. I did see an interview of Nick not too long ago where he said something about he still loves her and that he still considers them soulmates, and something about uh him thinking that they could be together. So I gotta find that interview and like play it somewhere and watch it with you guys together. He insinuates a lot of things and runs wild with wild things. Well, I know when I was in his live last night, he said because Christy had said Ryan can take his poles and shove them up his ass. Christy said that. And he said, well, I'm sure she knows what that feels like, but she shot first. And then he said, when somebody said, do you know if Ken left Gypsy? And he said, no, I don't know nothing about that. He then said, which this was the other night, he said, if he has, that's wrong of him and somebody needs to beat him up. He literally said, if Ken left Gypsy pregnant, right, like this early on, like this late in the game, he was like, if he did, he needs his butt whipped for that. In the text even says, I just have to trust that you'll come back to me. So yeah, I don't know, you guys. I think if you watch his lives, you'll see that he ignores a lot. And when he does answer things, he'll be quick with it to say something. Every once in a while, if something has been said about him, he'll get a little frustrated and he'll respond. And then he will literally say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. All his polls ain't about his ex-wife, though. I mean, his polls are about which movie he should watch. Literally. But if my ex-wife saw pictures of my refrigerator and told her millions of followers via TMZ that I was an abuser, I would do a poll every damn day and profit off her name. Sure would. Why not? If my wife or husband left me and 2 weeks later got matching, not even 2 weeks later, got matching tattoos with their ex, who literally they dogged in front of me, we dogged on, literally she went to the Bio Files with Ken after dogging Ken on the Bio Files. I was like, that's awkward. That's weird. But yes, I mean, if we're looking at who's in the wrong more here, I'm like, I don't know how anybody could think that he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, has he done some wrong? Yes. Has he not handled everything perfectly? He hasn't. But she literally, I mean, at the house one night, she set the phone up to record him and said that he was freaking out on her because she confided in her sister. And he's like, no, I'm mad because you told the world. And then come to find out later on, they were trying for a baby. She literally, on TV, told her sister that her and Ryan had unprotected sex and that, you know, obviously, because she's on birth control, the possibility was there. Her sister was like, you need to take the plan B. You don't need to get pregnant. Like, and she was like, okay. And she took it. No, I get literally last night, yesterday, he did a poll on what movie he should see. Watch his lives. Yeah, he does like 5 to 10 polls per live, and he only goes live like once a week. He literally said last night, like, I may go live later this week or maybe next week. So, I mean, what was I saying? Oh, but so we found out later that her and Ryan were actively trying for a baby. She had already bought baby clothes and had them hanging in the closet. But she goes home, or Ryan calls, she tells Ryan, you know, that she told her sister, and Ryan's upset. And he's like, that's private. But a big reason why he was upset that she said something is because she said it in front of the cameras. So that evening when they're at home and she's cooking and he's frustrated about it, and he, in a calm way, tells her that he's frustrated, she sets up the camera to record because he's freaking out on her. Because I confided in my sister, and he's like, no, it's because you told the world, Gypsy. You told the world this. And he could have outed her right there. He could have said, you told the world that this accident happened, but really it wasn't an accident. We talked about it. We want to have a baby. You've been talking about having a baby, you know? But he didn't. He just said, I just didn't want this to be out there. Like, I just didn't want our private business like that to be out there, you know? But she was like, you reminded me of my mother. And then he immediately was like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, I'm not trying to do that. He really tried to be very like cautious. When she would say, like, my mother used to do that, you reminded me of my mother, he'd be like, don't do that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do that. And then in like a confessional on the show one time, he said, I have to be very careful because, you know, she gets triggered over things because of the things that happened to her when she was growing up. So, you know, things that I could say to somebody else that they would take it fine, she won't. So I have to be very careful with that, you know? I agree, Nicole. Gypsy did a huge favor for Ryan. Yep. Once she found out about the plan B, it was over. She admitted to going to fertility doctor. Once she found out Ken called it, it was over. That's true. Yeah, that's when I think Gypsy was A-okay to get pregnant by Ryan. It was once she found out that Ken was that he was single and interested, then it was like, oh crap, I don't want to get pregnant by him. I want to get pregnant by him. And that's like something you should probably talk to your therapist about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go from being married and trying to have a baby with your husband to back with your ex, trying to have a baby with him, I don't know. I just feel like you should talk to your therapist about that because it's obvious she just really wants a baby, and she was fine if it would have been Ryan's baby. She probably preferred that it was Ken's baby, but she would have been fine getting pregnant by Ryan. When is her parole over? She was going to be on parole for like 2 years when she got out, I believe. So. She's got like a year left, a little bit over a year. Probably, yeah. Anyways, you guys, you leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What are you guys thinking about this? I just feel like she's done a lot to hurt him. So he doesn't really fight back that much. If it is, it's a little bit here and there popping off. But he really, for the most part, keeps his mouth shut. And I'm sure he knows things about her that he could put out, like the fact that she was using his phone to talk to convicted felons when that goes against her parole. That's true. But you guys have your thoughts. What do you guys think is the reason for her putting these messages out? Do you guys really think it's because she's mad that this narrative has been painted? I mean, maybe that is. Maybe it's because she's upset about this narrative being painted. But I just feel like she's got so many other concerns to be worried about rather than if people believe that she's leading Ryan on or she won't leave him alone. Or some people think that it was to show Ken. I don't know. Ryan said he owes him 2 if he left her. 1 for ruining his marriage, which is crazy because she willingly left. True, Ronald. Yeah, like you got to be mad at Gypsy about that. The reason he doesn't throw her under the bus is because he's convinced she'll eventually come back, and it's the context we're missing in those texts to where he has to reassure her he loves her as wife. I think you're onto something. Because why else would it be? Like, what if she said something like, let's pull that back up there. What if she said something like, he said, you look so good as a brunette, miss your voice, I do. What if she said, oh, but who's in your heart? Oh, but I bet I'm not in your heart anymore. I see those videos that you're posting with other women. Or do you even still love me anymore? I see those videos. Yeah, you still have my heart. I still only have it's almost like something was said and those videos was brought up, or the fact that he touched another girl's butt. You still have my heart. I only have eyes for you. Gypsy Rose, you really are the most beautiful woman in the world. Just being honest. Like, it doesn't make sense that he would say all that unless she said something. Questioning like, but do you? But do you really love me? What about those other girls? What about them? I don't know. Between 4 and 8:30, she made him feel like she doubted his love for her and he wouldn't choose her. How does he never see Gypsy had to want? How does he never see Gypsy had to want to leave her? Christy couldn't have made her. He blamed everyone by the BYT. I don't know what that means. No, she put it out for Ken. I think there were things deleted for sure. So yeah, it's late, you guys. I got to get off here, but I wanted to cover that because I saw that and I was like, this is wild. And here's the thing. Bree released those messages, which obviously kind of embarrassed Ryan a little bit, but he's like, I've admitted it. I've always said I love her. And then someone leaked some messages of Gypsy's, and Bree was like, did a video like damn near crying, saying how wrong that was for somebody to take messages between 2 people that was supposed to be private messages and to release them to the world like that. Like, how dare you? How wrong is that? When she literally did that to Ryan. And I do have a large clip of Ryan's live from yesterday up on my channel. It's not his whole live because a lot of his live, he was not talking about Gypsy, anybody. So I only uploaded where he's talking about his shirt and where he's talking about the text messages and all of that. The rest of the 35 minutes was movies and things like that. So I didn't upload it. If you guys want to go check it out, you can. It's up there on my channel under videos. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this? Why is she putting the messages out? Why is she instructing Bree to do that? I really feel like when Bree does things, the people know, like, oh, Gypsy had her do that, and it's going to make her look worse anyways. So I don't think Gypsy should be having Bree do anything because it just is going to come back to bite her in the butt again, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.